That's what we're talking about today. That's your inner game versus your outer game. It's a theory that usually is used in leadership, but today I want us to use it and focus it to self. How you feel and how you look like, and how you look like versus how you feel. I'll dip really deep into this thing of what is your inner game versus what is your outer game, and what is your outer game versus your inner game, and how do these two concepts play a role in you having a certain thing. I'm sorry guys if my glasses reflect the lighting in my surroundings. I'm not wearing my contact lenses. I don't feel like poking my eyes, guys. So that's another thing. It's my inner game. How's my inner game feeling? My inner game is my mindset, my emotions, my confidence, my personality. All of these things that you cannot see are essentially my inner game. And how strong is my game? And then your outer game is all of these things that you have: how you look, how you smell, what you own, who are you in society. All of those things, those are your outer game, because it's what influences your outer profile, if that makes sense. It's what influences your outer profile. So it's your inner game versus your outer game. A lot of people always say if you do good, which is your outer game, you feel good, which is your inner game. But if you feel good, which is your inner game, you do good, which is your outer game. You see? So these things are two concepts that are essentially interchangeable, and there's no concept that is more important than the other. A lot of people always make it feel like and seem like your inner game is most important than your outer game, to the point that they always say, no, heal your traumas, self-doubt, remove self-doubt and all of those things, so that you can be your true self. How you look and what is just materialistic. No, that's still another self. The human being, you have an inner self and you have an outer self. The outer self is what you show to us, is what you portray to us, and then your inner self is what is on your autopilot or your default settings when we're chilling with you, and how you see things, how you perceive things, and how you respond to things. So that is your inner game. Your inner game is as important as your outer game, because I don't get it. I don't get these people who always say other people are materialistic. They are not necessarily materialistic. It's just that they understand the fact that why would I not want to make the most out of the earth things? If I came here on earth to experience a human experience, then why would I not make the most out of it? Why would you wake up every day and go to work or run a business, and then you come back and you don't want to buy a belt that costs 6K or 10K? And why would you not buy the latest car if you can afford it? Why would you not spend that 23K on a cell phone, a mere cell phone? People always say a cell phone is just a liability. Yes, it is a liability, but guess what? I worked for it. It's my outer game. It gives you that confidence. And if anything gives you that confidence, trust me, the minute you have a materialistic thing that induces your confidence, automatically you already have, I do good, so I feel good. The minute you feel good, you do good. Sometimes you don't have to do good by donations. You don't have to do good by, you have to do good to self. That's why it's called a game theory. It's a game theory because there's inner game and there's outer game. And this is something that I also realized, when did I actually understand the theory of inner game versus outer game? I think everyone subconsciously understands the theory of inner game versus outer game. The only problem is the fact that we are so taught that your outer game is materialistic and your inner game is very much important. What your outer game is just a preference, and what your inner game is as well is low-key a preference, because how I solve my inner game is different from how you solve your inner game. It may so happen that I didn't have parents. I grew up from an orphanage home, so I need to strictly work on the fact that I've always been a lone wolf. And how can I make being a lone wolf functional for my inner game? Even if I want to get married at some stage, or I don't want to get married in some stage. But there are other people somewhere in the world that they've been raped. Other people somewhere in the world, they've never experienced all of these things. Life has always been, there's always something that someone is facing. Let's just put it like that. And that's how you focus on your inner game. And then on your outer game is also a preference. What I want you to tell you in this video is the fact that you have an inner game and you have an outer game. And these things are balanced. There's no materialistic that is below the other. Just because you want sunglasses that cost 10k doesn't mean you're materialistic. You worked off for those sunglasses to the point that now you want to raise your vibration of your outer game. And if you have started doing journaling, started working on yourself, you started healing, you started doing all your inner child what, just because that thing is not seen to humans, it doesn't make it more superior than this one. Because sometimes, especially if you're someone you have healed before, it's actually difficult for you to move on and heal because you've done all of these things that your psychologist has ever said to you. Psychologist has said, go for therapy, start journaling, write a letter to the dead, do all of those things. You've done them, but you still feel like trash. And you know specifically deep down inside that you just take 10k and just go to a vacation. Are you trying to tell me that that wouldn't heal you? Guys, money is meant to be exchanged. Money is meant to be exchanged. So work on your outer game the same way that you work on your inner game. Because the minute you do good, you feel good. The minute you feel good, you do good. Sometimes you just need to work on your self-doubt and your confidence in order for you to do good and start donating. So guys, like, focus on your inner game versus your outer game. I love you guys, and this is the game theory. If you want to search it up and read up on it on Google, there. And I love you icons. I want you to work on your inner game. I want you to feel good so that you can do good, and I want you to do good so that you can feel good. I love you guys. Bye.